partnered with them and collaborated with them. And we are going to continue doing this for other financial institutions so that we have standalone green products, green loan products, so that when you walk into the financial institutions, it's very clear that you can be able to access these loans and they are not hidden behind other categories that obscure their requirement of prominence. And then when it comes to the challenges that we have typically faced, is that we have a number of microfinance actors who are interested in intermediating, but because of the nature of their clients, urban poor and the rural poor in the remote areas that we are targeting for inclusion, most of these they don't have, they are not financially literate, they are not good at debt management, and this results into loan defaults, which makes the microfinance institutions less viable for financing. And then, but this can be mitigated through the digital platforms. Earlier on, there was a detailed panel session. Through digital tools, we can be able to manage the costs of delivery for these financial institutions, so that we can be able to get better margins for the financial institutions as they grow and scale up, and then they can be able to come to get to the level where they become bankable. Then one other challenge that they face, but which is being partly addressed, is that they also depend on financing from the central bank, from the commercial banks. And the commercial banks are receiving their operating expenses. Microfinance is already expensive, so when they access that funding from commercial banks, then it becomes, and they add the cost of delivery of microfinance services, the cost of microfinance hits the roof, and it also adds to a challenge of repayment of the facilities by the beneficiaries. But as you have heard from the different speakers, we now have yoga, supporting group lending. We also have the PDM, the support. We also have our facilities which are soft, particularly for energy. It is in a way defraying the over-dependence on financing from commercial banks that have already priced in their operating expenses. Then the other challenge we have is because of the nature of the clients, the microfinance sector, we have some areas significant loan default scenarios, and these are caused by a combination of problems. One of them is the loan officers sometimes are unable to identify, separate potential defaulters from the potential borrowers. That is one aspect. The other one is risk management practices are also not very well developed for many of the institutions. So if they are impact soft funders, that is an area that they can support, and collateral by way of large titles. Another way how we can also be able to reduce on the default scenarios, it was mentioned earlier, we need to emphasize more on the group lending methodology, because that one also facilitates and allows for borrowers with similar interests, similar aspirations to assess then there is collective reward or collective punishment. And by and large, you find that group lending methodologies have proved to be more efficient and return very well by way of recoveries, and that in the end makes it, allows the financial institutions to be able to scale up and grow their numbers so that we can be able to intermediate better and transform our Ugandans.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maguma, for those challenges that you've identified and then the possible solutions. Now I'm going to go to Gilbert Goma, who is the country representative of Water.org. Gilbert, you are an expert in the wash space. I want you to share some highlights on the shifts that are taking place globally in terms of wash. And then how do we introduce credit in the wash financing space? And what are the challenges you see and possible solutions maybe in increasing access to financing for wash?
Thank you, moderator. Yes, like earlier speakers have said, we face the climate change. And indeed, I think we need to find a place where we are able to adapt. That's where we come from as Water.org. Water.org is an institutional enterprise that supports financial institutions to be able to offer social products around the water and sanitation. We've been in this journey for quite some time globally. Okay, thank you. So we've been in this business for some time, supporting financial institutions to be able to adopt such products as water and sanitation in the sector in which we are, which is not very common business many times. Over time, we have thought and believed that water was a public good, was a service offered by government. But along the journey, we see a very big threat, and we see a place where government is not able to offer the service as was. I remember when I was much younger, we thought water was basically piped water or water. Today, there are quite so many threats around access to water. Recently, you heard of the challenges and conflicts arising from water between Ethiopia and Egypt. And I can heavily say today that in the near future, water is going to be one of the biggest security problems around the world. Attesting to that, if the hotel, for example, had not given us all the mineral water we have on our tables today, I believe we would be in conflict today over the service. So more specifically speaking to the theme, partnerships, collaborations that support social transformation around water and sanitation. We've moved this journey in Uganda since 2011 as Water.org, and specifically interesting financial institutions to be able to craft out products that support the communities to be able to acquire loans and provide their own interventions so that they're able to provide safe water for themselves, either through connections or self-supply or the blessed rain we have. We do this basically through three pillars. One is around capacity, like previous speakers have said, through a technical assistance program with the Apex institution AMFI that has been able to support quite so many institutions in this room, both MPIs and circles, but also some commercial banks in this country. The second pillar that we see as a viable pillar to support the process of us having water security is around incubation and linkages. We realize that the water and sanitation sector has not been quite very well developed.